I have 6 o'clock. I would like to welcome everyone to the August 27th meeting of the New Bern Board of Aldermen. At this time tonight, the prayer will be given by Alderman Odham.
Thank you, Mayor. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for yet another opportunity to come before you tonight and carry out the business of the city. We ask that you lead, guide, and direct our words and actions to be pleasing to you. Amen.
Would you join me in the pledge of allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Alderman Bingle,
Here via Skype.
Alderwoman Harris,
Present.
Alderman Astor,
Here.
Mayor Outlaw,
Here.
Alderman Kinsey,
Here.
Alderman Best,
Present.
Alderman Odham.
Here.
Okay, is everybody good with the agenda before we get going?
Yes.
Okay, this time we have the consent agenda, items 3 and 4.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as is.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same.
Aye.
Mr. Stevens, item number 5.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Tonight, item number 5 is conduct a public hearing and consider adopting an ordinance to permanently close a portion of St. John Street. Attorney Brian Taylor, on behalf of James Smoke Boyd, requested a portion of St. John Street to be permanently closed pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 160A-299. Mr. Boyd owns all of the adjacent parcels on both sides of the proposed area of the closure. The board adopted a resolution on the 23rd of July 2019 to call for this public hearing, and that notice has been published as required by law. After conducting the public hearing, the board is asked to consider adopting an ordinance to permanently close the desired portion of St. John Street. There's a memo and a map that's included in your packet from Mr. Montaigne, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Does the board have any questions before we get going? Staff have any more information on this they need to present? At this time, I'm going to open a public hearing concerning item number 5. If anybody in the public would like to come forward, ask any questions, make any comments, they're free to do it at this time.
Mayor, make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Mayor, if there's no more comments, I'd like to make a motion we adopt an ordinance to permanently close a portion of St. John Street.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, let's have a roll call starting with Alderman Odham.
Alderman Odham,
Yes.
Alderman Best,
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Mayor Outlaw,
Yes.
Alderman Astor,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harris,
Yes.
Alderman Bingle.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 6, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 6 is consideration of the board to accept a petition to annex property in Craven 30 West, identified as tax parcel ID 8-209-13001. And if you do wish to accept that petition, at that time you will be asked to adopt a resolution to call for a public hearing on the annexation. Mr. Clifford Parson, authorized representative for Weyerhaeuser, has submitted a petition to annex contiguous property consisting of approximately 58.36 acres located in the Craven 30 West property, identified as tax parcel ID 8-209-13001. The board is asked to make a motion as to the acceptance or non-acceptance of this petition. And if the petition at that time is accepted, the board is asked to call for public hearing. That will be on September the 10th of 2019 to receive any comments on that annexation. The backup documentation is included in your packet from the city attorney, and we're happy to answer any kind of questions you may have.
Does the board have questions?
If you don't have any questions, I'd like to make a motion that we annex the partial, excuse me,
We accept the petition. We accept the petition.
we accept the petition of the annexation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, let's voice vote.
Voice is fine for the petition.
All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the
Aye.
same.
Now the resolution, Mayor.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion for the resolution as well, for the adoption, for the annexation.
Public hearing.
Public hearing, I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, let's have a roll call, starting with Alderman Bingle.
Alderman Bingle,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harris,
Yes.
Alderman Astor,
Yes.
Mayor Outlaw.
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Best.
Yes.
Alderman Odham.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 7, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 7 is consideration of the board to adopt a resolution approving the execution of a general warranty deed for 876 Howard Street between Habitat for Humanity of Craven County and Gale, Headen. At its March 8, 2016 meeting, the Board of Aldermen approved the transfer of 876 Howard Street to Habitat for Humanity. The home has been constructed on the property, and Habitat is now ready to convey this property to Gale, Headen. To facilitate the conveyance, the city's signature is needed on the general warranty deed to evidence that Habitat has complied with all the terms and conditions that we set forth within the transfer and reversion agreement that's associated with the property, and that the city is releasing any rights that it has retained in that agreement. There's a memo that's included from Mr. Davis, and we're happy to answer questions.
Does the board have questions?
I'm gonna make a motion. Mayor, I'd like to, make a motion that the board, adopt a resolution approving the execution of a general warranty deed for 876 Howard Street between Habitat for Humanity of Craven County and Gale, Headen.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, let's have a roll call, starting with Alderman Odham.
Alderman Odham,
Yes.
Alderman Best,
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Mayor Outlaw.
Yes.
Alderman Astor.
Yes.
Alderwoman Harris.
Yes.
Alderman Bingle.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 8, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 8 is consideration of the board to adopt a budget ordinance amendment for the 2019-20 grants fund budget. This budget ordinance amendment recognizes and appropriates funds for 2 Golden Leaf Foundation grants, 2 Walmart Community grants, and a North Carolina Department of Public Safety grant. Grant awards total $288,639.93, and only one of the grants required match. That match is one of the Golden Leaf grants where we received $230,000 for street repairs. The matching part of that grant is $50,000. There's a memo that's included in your packet from Mr. Sabatelli that provides any of the additional details you may need. We're happy to answer any questions.
Does the board have questions?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that the board adopt a budget ordinance amendment for the fiscal year 2019-2020 grants fund budget.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, let's have a roll call, starting with Alderman Bingle.
Alderman Bingle,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harris,
Yes.
Alderman Astor.
Yes.
Mayor Outlaw.
Yes.
Alderman Kinsey,
Yes.
Alderman Best.
Yes.
Alderman Odham.
Yes.
Motion carries. Let's go to appointments. Alderman Bingle, do you have any appointments tonight?
I do not at this time.
Alderman Harris.
I do not, Mayor, thank you.
Alderman Astor.
I do. I'm trying to, what's the proper name for this, the appeal board, dangerous dog appeal board?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I would like to nominate Donna Baker to serve on that board. Ms. Baker has a dog training business in New Bern and has been a trainer for 20-some years. So I think she would serve well.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Do you have any other
That's all.
appointments?
Thank you.
Alderman Kinsey, do you have appointments?
Yes, sir, I do. I'd like to appoint Jonathan Foster to the Board of Adjustment.
Second.
You say?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Do you have other appointments?
No, I do not, sir.
Sir. Alderman Best
None.
and Alderman Odham.
No, sir.
Do we have an attorney's report tonight?
Nothing important tonight, Mayor.
We have city manager's report.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Okay, let's go to new business, starting with Alderman Odham.
Yes, sir, Mayor. I know that there's been some challenges in the past with getting attendance for Board of Adjustment meetings, since that board does not meet on a regular schedule. We had a situation last night, someone that wants to make an investment in our community had some challenges. He had some experts here for the meeting. We did not have enough to have a quorum, so I would like to see if the appetite for the board would be for staff to take a look at what opportunities we may have to make some adjustments to that, whether it's changing the makeup, the quorum requirements, or what have you. But this is certainly not the first time this has happened. I know Attorney Davis has mentioned this has become an issue in the past as well. So we always want to be helpful as much as possible when it comes to folks making investments in our community, and anything that we can do to try to make that better. I would like for us to look at that if no one else opposes.
I support that.
Okay. I support that. Does anybody else have comments about that?
I support it as well.
Okay. The staff have any questions about, you can maybe next meeting have some guideline, some ideas on what.
Try to put together the options that are available to the board, and then we can potentially go from there with all the different.
I'm going to speak to me. Whatever options you have, I'd rather resolve meetings being canceled because of lack of quorum expeditiously, time being of the essence, versus 6 months from now. So, in other words, I'm saying that because I'm not a lawyer and I don't know the procedures on this. I don't know if there's public hearings. I assume there probably would be. So what I would like is the options, and then the board's ability to take action on those and expedite the process to whatever we're going to do. We might do nothing, but at the same time. Is that?
One other item, Alderman Bingle and myself had a conversation last week before she left to go out of town, and we were hoping that maybe with the help of Matt and his staff of Public Works and Colleen, that we could put together an informative video that we could share on social media and City TV3 about drainage, to help our citizens understand a little bit more about drainage. I think we all get crash courses at times, but to let folks know that just because you may see a ditch that may not have been cleaned out lately doesn't necessarily mean that the water doesn't flow through it. And talk about some of the elevations that we have around town, maybe do some site visits and actually show these problem areas and some areas that just can't be resolved. But to kind of update our citizens on the efforts that staff has put forth is something we discussed last week. And that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Question, who's going to be on your team with that?
It was just basically for staff
Okay.
for staff to kind of put some information together. If they go to the various wards with problem areas, they can certainly invite us and we can participate as well. But it's more of a informational type process that they could go through to help explain some of that.
Alderman Best.
I only have one thing. Chief Summers, can I have you to come up, please? I thank Matt and his department and city manager. I thank all of y'all for the support that you gave me and the action that was taken. And you got the speed limit changed out on Highway 55. But the problem is we're still having speeders. And I didn't know, Chief, if there's some way that you can have some more enforcement out there. Yeah. Or if it's some way that you maybe can get with the highway patrol, since it's a state highway, to see what kind of,
we'll do a little bit of both.
Can they come to, because the problem is there's tractors and trailers, log trucks, and it's heavy duty trucks. And then we still have citizens that's not abiding by the speed limit as well. So if there's something that you can come to the aid of the residents on that highway, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I would like to probably do a speed study on it to get the idea of what the problem is and what time the problem is, and then we'll certainly work with the highway department to enforce it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Okay. Alderman Kinsey. Do you have any new business tonight, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Alderman Astor.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Alderman Harris.
No, Mayor, thank you.
Okay. Alderman Bingle.
No, thank you for the opportunity to be able to Skype in. Nothing tonight.
Okay. At this time, that's new business. The next thing will be closed session. Do we need a closed session
I
tonight?
do, Mayor. I've got 4 matters to address with you. 2 of them involve litigation. First is Right Touch versus City of New Bern. Second is McDavid versus New Bern. That's pursuant to 143, 311A3. And then we have potential acquisition of 2 separate parcels to discuss. That's pursuant to 143, 311A5.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to go into closed session. Any discussion? All in favor of those want to go into closed session, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Motion carries.